What's up, world? We've got another Tik Tok star with us in the studio today. Katie Combs. How you doing, Katie?
I'm so good, honey. How are you?
I'm doing the best there was. Now, we was talking a little bit before we started recording. How many followers have you got now? It's a whole lot, I know.
I'm around 237,000, somewhere around there.
Yeah. That's a lot of people. Now,
yeah.
I mean, when you really think about it, 200 and some thousand people is watching your video.
I try not to think about it.
Well, I don't either. I kind of know what you're talking about when you say you try not to think about it and stuff like that, because with doing this podcast and everything, you really don't. I mean, I can see the numbers of the people that's watching the video episodes and the people that's listening to the audio episodes, but I understand what you're saying. It's really nerve-wracking type of situation.
Yeah, if you sit and think about it, I would never stand up in front of that many. I wouldn't stand up in front of 500 people. I mean, so I just try not to think about it.
Yeah. Well, it comes natural to you. You're real good on camera.
I just ramble.
Yeah. Yeah. You was suggested to me by one of your fans. She's like, hey, you need to get this girl on here. She's taking over TikTok. She's really sweet, really nice person. She just kind of gets on there and rambles and tells her story. And she wanted me to start off the episode with asking you, where did the term residential coffee come from?
So there is another girl on TikTok. Her name's Chancey, and she's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, I think. Mm-hmm. And she's got around, I think, 1 million followers. And I heard her say it in one of her videos, and I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
And, I live out in the holler. Like, I'm not going to Starbucks every day. Yeah. We're having residential coffee, and we need to make it sound fancy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just started saying it all the time, and it just stuck.
Just took off.
Yeah, it just stuck.
Yeah. That's awesome that people can relate to stuff like that, and they take hold of it, and it becomes, I mean, I'm sure there's probably 200-some thousand people out there referring to their coffee as residential coffee now because of you.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, no doubt about it.
We're all drinking it together.
Oh, yeah. Everybody forgive me. I've been battling a cough here for 2 weeks. I've got a doctor's appointment finally tomorrow. It'll be the first time that I've went to a doctor in a long time, because my wife is like a home remedy, real big on home remedies, mm-hmm. And I'm sure you know all mm-hmm. about home remedies and stuff. And they have helped a lot. Like, she's got this concoction that she's got me, like, what's it called, where you put that mask on and you breathe.
Like a nebulizer.
A nebulizer, that's exactly right. And it's a mixture of, like, food grade hydrogen peroxide or mm-hmm. something like that, and a couple other little things. It's helped a whole lot, but I feel like I just need something to get that last little kick mm-hmm. of this cough out. So sorry if I'm coughing. I will be probably throughout the whole episode. Another thing that 2 or 3 people wanted me to touch on with you is that they love the fact that you're such a big fan of MooMoo's.
Oh, yeah.
In your videos.
I went to Walmart today.
Yeah.
And they're about sold out already. The Valentine's Day ones.
It's probably because of you.
I have a friend that works at Walmart, and I said, I'm looking for this specific one. When you get them in, let me know. She sent me a picture Saturday. Today's Monday. I went today, and all they had was smalls. I said, well, this is a scam. This is a scam.
Yeah. It's probably your own fault, though. You have made the market of MooMoo's explode, probably.
Well, they're going to have to make more is all I know.
Yeah. You're going to have to call Walmart distribution center.
Walmart can call me.
Yeah, they probably would.
I would love for them to give me
your name on our MooMoo's.
No, but yeah, they, $8, you can't beat it.
Are they just $8?
$7.90 something, yeah. $8.
Oh, well, I might buy me one.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I can't blame you.
They do look very comfortable.
They are very comfortable.
Yeah.
They are.
So, before we get into the meat and potatoes of things, can you tell us a little bit about, like, where you grew up and what kind of life you led growing up and stuff like that, and just general
I grew up in right outside of Berea. We lived in a little holler. My mom, my aunts, uncles, my grandparents, we all lived right down there on the same road. And then...
That camera off me.
When I was 16, me and Dylan got married. Mm-hmm. And I moved up here to Jackson County. And I've been here ever since. I mean, my childhood, I've told plenty of stories on there. Yeah. Was a little wild.
Everybody had a wild streak.
It was a little wild. My dad had his moments, but he was good for the most part. And I had a pretty good upbringing. My mom is a saint. God love her. I tell on her all the time on there, but yeah. She would give you the shirt off your back, but don't make her mad.
Yeah.
Don't make her mad.
Yeah.
But me and Dylan got married, and I've been up here ever since, really.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it that made you show an interest in TikTok, or what made you start wanting to share content and stuff like that on there?
So, before I started TikTok, I owned, my early videos are like day in my life pregnancy videos, day in my stay-at-home mom life. Mm-hmm. So if you go back pretty far, that was where I started. Yeah. Now, I owned a small business, and I was used to working 60, 70 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
And I closed my store in the end of July, and I ended up pregnant in June.
Okay.
And I was working part-time, and then I was probably about 8 months pregnant. Mm-hmm. I quit working because I was waiting tables and I just could not do it anymore.
That's a hard job.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Pregnant, I could not breathe.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dylan drives a truck here locally, and he works about 60 hours a week in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I was just bored. Like, I wasn't used to just being home, and not having somebody to talk to, something to do.
Yeah.
And I knew that eventually I would want to look back and... especially if we have another one, like, mm-hmm. What was it like? What was I doing? How was I feeling? So I just started making little vlogs, little video diaries of my pregnancy, and then the early days of bringing Lucy home, and I just
skyrocketed from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social media is a funny thing, because I remember way back when all you had was, like, MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very limited mm-hmm. to what you could do on there. I remember you could put, like, your own kind of wallpaper up on the screen, and mm-hmm. you could add like a little box with a song playing mm-hmm. and stuff, but that was about it. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember what the messaging back and forth was like. But that was pretty much it. And I guess maybe from there it stemmed to YouTube.
Yeah.
Or it may have been Vine even. Before.
Oh, yeah, Vine.
Was Vine before Vine. YouTube?
I can't remember.
But I know that the social media influencer thing is probably, I heard, I was reading an article the other day, it said where it's actually one of the most viable kinds of employment that there is nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing, really, what people can accomplish just through being a content creator.
Oh, yeah.
It's something else, I believe.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's definitely opened a lot of opportunities up to me and Dylan, and, I'm thankful not only for, like, the financial side, but, just the community of people. A lot of women deal with postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And I really feel like if I wouldn't have had that community and wouldn't have had those people to talk to and be like, hey, this is what's going on, or, there's so many other women that follow me that had their babies around the same time, and we're all the time talking, and, what's your baby doing? Like, have you dealt with this? And I think that it really helped. Dylan worked 60 hours a week. I spent a lot of time just me and the baby, and I'm very, very thankful for the community of people that it's gave me.
Oh, yeah. Since I first heard of you, I've been watching your videos, and learning as much as I can and stuff. But then I also been sitting in on your live streams that you do on TikTok, and it is really amazing at the support that you get. Mm-hmm. And like you said before we started recording, you're just on there gossiping, ranting and raving and rambling. and stuff. Yeah. But more often than not, I think that it's the aspect of being genuine and like a real person.
Yeah.
That really reaches out to people, I feel like.
I feel like people are sick of, like, the big influencers that live this huge, lavish... That's not real.
It's not.
I don't want to watch somebody in a mansion.
Yeah, I don't either. It got everything handed to them. Everything's perfect.
Yeah, I'm not about it.
No. We're living in a time nowadays to where the normal person like you is who people prefer to watch. Nowadays, just because of what you said. Who cares something about somebody that living in a mansion that's got everything handed to them that, may or may not have worked to get there? People want to be able to relate to people, even though they're up on this huge platform and they've got all these followers and people like this. I believe a lot of it is motivation for them that they can do it too.
Yeah.
Because although it is hard to do and it's a job. It really is a job. This is a job. Even though it's hard to do to get as many followers as you do, it's possible. But you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's something else.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Social media is wild.
It is.
I tell them all the time, I'm like, I don't know why y'all listen to me ramble. I'm like so normal. Like I don't get it. But I do feel like, because I have a lot of people that are all over, obviously. I mean, and I feel like people are really starting to realize that the Appalachian culture, they're starting to realize, oh, they've got something. Yeah. They've got something down there.
Yeah, they do.
Because there's a lot of just like raw, genuine talent that comes out of these mountains.
They really are.
I mean, Chris Stapleton, Tyler Childers. I mean, some of the biggest names in country music right now come right out of these hollers.
Absolutely did. I think I'm like you. I think people is just starting to figure out just the kind of potential that these mountains and hollers and backwoods has. And it can be your Tyler Childers and Chris Stapletons and Ryan Up Churches and stuff like that. And then you've got people like Billy Hubbard and you and all these other content creators on TikTok that has just got these mountains of followers and stuff. And people just want to feel normal, and they like hearing from normal people. They can relate to them, even though you've got this huge following. It's like it's not.
Yeah, I'm a very normal person. I cook dinner. I put my pants on just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I stay home and clean my house and mind my business. Well, I don't mind my business.
Are you sure about that?
Well, but you know what? And this is what me and my husband Dylan were talking about today. I'm like, Dylan, gossip, and that is a culture around here.
It really is.
My Aunt Ada, and we've all got one.
That's a good point.
She was my neighbor growing up, and she would get on her front porch in her rocking chair, honey, smoking her Pall Malls, and you could hear her on the phone all throughout the holler, telling everybody's business. But she would be the first one to come and help you if you needed it.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Everybody's got that aunt or uncle or sister or brother or whoever it may be that is
keeping the phone lines hot.
Keeping the phone lines hot. That's exactly right. In these small communities, you tell one person something, and it's all over the county. Within a day.
Absolutely.
Within a day.
I can think of one or two right now that you probably know.
Oh, I'd say you do. I know that if I want something told, there are certain people I need to tell it to.
Oh, absolutely. Better than Facebook. Truly.
Oh, yeah.
Honest to God.
Way better than Facebook ever will be. They've got to reach far beyond Facebook. It's really something else.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
Don't I know it? But it is culture around here. I mean, that's what I was telling Dylan, like, that people just talk. We don't have nothing else to do.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
There's nothing else to do.
We're professionals. We're professional gossipers.
Me and Dylan like to call them Jackson County chicken heads. We just ramble right on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Yep. They ain't nothing better than sitting on somebody's front porch, I feel like, and just gossiping. Hearing these old tales about whoever going down the street, and did you hear about that guy?
Well, I'll tell you what I heard.
Went through. Yeah, let me tell you what I heard. Yeah, that's exactly how the conversation goes.
Yep, every time.
I heard old Tammy Sue got pregnant by that one boy. Well, I heard it was this other guy from another county, and he's got a wife and 3 kids. It's stuff like that.
All the time. People are like, are these stories true? I'm like, yeah. You
don't have to make them up.
No, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's another thing. When you live in Appalachia, of course, there's times where you'll think of a funny story or something like that, but in Appalachia, you don't necessarily have to look for content to talk about or to make a little skit about or something like that. You just have to think what happened at church last Sunday, or what happened sitting on Papa's front porch, or what happened down at the dollar store or Save-A-Lot.
I mean, the family dinners have killed me over this year. I mean, I'm like, do you all know what I do for a living now? Like,
yeah.
Are you sure you want to act like that?
Yeah. Now, that's something that I did want to ask you about. Have you ever been like out and about, say around a group of people, and because they know who you are, they kind of just be quiet, like they don't say too much?
I feel like I have this very unique quality that I can just make anybody feel comfortable around me.
Well, that's good.
And they will ramble and tell me everything they know. I'm like, honey, that is awful. Are you kidding me?
So you just hang it on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Even before TikTok, even before anything, I love a good story.
Yeah.
I love the drama.
I believe everybody does, but not everybody's just willing to admit it.
Yeah, I'll admit it. Honey, I won't lie.
That's why everybody loves you so much, though. That's why everybody wants to. If they don't relate to you, they want to relate to you. And, I'd say people just go to your TikTok for several hundred reasons, but they may be a group of people out there be like, I wonder what happened today. Well, let's go get on Katie Combs' TikTok page. She'll be talking about it.
I know
just like the old front porch.
Yeah. When my cousin, I've talked about it on TikTok, he's having twins. I was telling you about it before we started.
Yep.
I was the first in the family to know.
Oh,
he's like, you can't tell nobody. I'm like,
Oh, Lord.
As soon as I hung that phone up, I called my mom. I said, you will never believe it. She was like, I FaceTimed her because I had to see her reaction. I was like, you'll never believe it. She's like, what? I said, Jonathan's having twins. She was like, what?
Oh, my God.
Because we didn't even know they were pregnant. That was a shock all in itself if there was 2.
Yeah.
I was like, don't tell them I told you. I'm not supposed to tell anybody. She's like, I won't tell. She's like, but when can I call Sonia, which is her sister, his mom?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Just wait for her to call you. Don't say nothing.
Oh, my God. That is a classic line right there that you just said. When can I tell this person? Well, I don't know. Just wait for me to tell you. That's classic.
I'm the world's worst. I'm the world's worst. I'll call my mama and tell her everything. I mean, anything. I called my mother. She works full time.
Yeah.
I probably call her 10 times a day.
Oh, yeah?
If I don't, the other day I was real busy. I think it was Friday. And I had to go to town and do a couple things, and I was driving, and it got about 1 o'clock, and she had texted me and said, are you all right? And I was driving. I couldn't text her back. And 30 minutes went by, and she called me. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. She's like, well, I was just making sure he's all right. And she's like, if you're busy, it's fine. I was like, I'm fine, honey. She's like, okay, I just hadn't heard from you.
Yeah, I'm driving.
I'm driving, Mom. I'll call you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
That's good. You always need somebody like that to check up on you and stuff. Oh, yeah. Does anybody ever try to, calm you down? Hey, you shouldn't say this. You shouldn't say that.
Oh, my mom. Because sometimes if it's a little much, I'm like, should I post this?
Yeah.
And sometimes she'll be like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And then if something, who cares? Yeah. What are y'all going to do?
Yeah, for real.
And then if something happens, she'll be like, well, I tried to tell you. I'm like, well, yeah, I know. But it's all right. It don't matter. Yeah. What are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
You can't take your birthday.
No, we're still celebrating.
Yeah. I believe that's the best way to be. If you maybe don't know whether to post something or not, just post it. Just go with it, because it's usually something that somebody wants to hear or wants to say.
Well, when there's so many, everybody gets canceled for anything and everything.
They do.
And once you do get a phone, you're like, oh my God, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody to take something out of context.
Yeah.
So I do I don't say I get paranoid or worry about it, but like, I mean, if you really know me, you know that I'm not going to hurt your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless you're mean to me, then I really will hurt your feelings.
Oh, yeah. I'd say you could, too.
Oh, yeah. I would. I sure would.
Yeah.
I sure would.
You have to be, I mean, on this podcast, you know, if there's somebody coming on and they're talking about a sensitive subject, whether it be drug abuse or domestic violence or something, or some just hilarious story, if there's somebody involved in the story, I always say, hey, you might want to leave their name out. Anybody else is free game.
Right.
You know, I do tell everybody that, you know, when it's dealing with a sensitive subject, you know, you don't want to put certain people on Front Street for legal reasons, too. You know, you got to think about that. Obviously, the bigger your following gets, the more you have to think about things like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's kind of crazy.
But at the same time, you know, if you didn't want me to tell it, you shouldn't have been treating me bad.
Yeah, that's huge.
I mean,
I agree with you.
That's kind of how I feel about it. Even though I'm not going to, I mean, I would never, you would have to make me real mad before I told all your business. Like, bad. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not just going to go out you. I mean, I change all the names in my stories. I've changed. I mean, and I just said the other day, or I made a video the other day, they're not all from people. I mean, maybe one of them is from somebody that I know in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, like the stories about my childhood and my crazy ass family, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's my story to tell. Y'all done put me through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell on you.
You own that.
Yeah. But I mean, the other little stories, people email me the craziest stuff.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I'm like, I can't even say that.
Yeah.
TikTok will take that down.
Yeah, I'd say you get some wild stuff.
But it's all the same. I mean, everybody's having affairs. Nobody knows who their baby daddy is.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Talk about this. Tell this. Tell that.
Yeah. But like, I can't tell it, but you can. I'm like, okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about. They use you kind of as an outlet to vent from, because every now and then you'll run up on somebody in life that really just does not care, you know, to say whatever's on their mind. I'm like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't care, you know, if something I say offends somebody or something. I'm not out to intentionally hurt anybody. I'm just kind of a naturally blunt person. And if you get offended by something I say, that's kind of your fault. Or that's on you, really.
I know what you mean.
So, but knowing things, people, I'm sure, just like you said, email you, call you, text you all the time. Hey, I got something juicy for you to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
People do me that way all the time. Hey, I heard this is going on. And I won't talk about anything on here unless I vet it and make sure that it is true. And unless it's just fun little gossip, kind of like what you do. But now if it's something pretty serious, I'll go through the motions and make sure it's true. And I haven't talked about a lot of it on here just because of who it has to deal with. But one of these days,
honey, I would love to know.
Oh, I know you would. I know some things on people that work directly next to these people, and they think that they wouldn't tell nothing on them whatsoever. They're best friends, and all the while,
God, you're going to tell
they're telling this person, and this person's telling me. I can't believe you got to hear what she said, or you got to hear what he said, or this couple's going out with this other couple. And
oh, listen, the things that happen behind closed doors.
Yeah.
People that you would never think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't I know
I'd say, man, you're probably talking about the same people.
You don't, honey, you never know. You never know.
We'll talk about it when we get done recording.
I would love to.
Gospel for an hour.
I would love to.
Yeah, we will. You probably wouldn't be surprised by it.
I'm not surprised by anything. Either.
No, you can't be nowadays.
No. People are just, I feel like, I mean, and I hate to say it, but there's just not a whole lot of morality anymore.
No, they ain't.
I don't know what's happened, but there's just, people just do and whatever.
Are not worried about any kind of repercussions or consequences at all.
But, I mean, it's their life, I guess.
Yeah, everybody can live their life the way they want to. Just be prepared for people to talk about you.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of goes hand in hand. If you're going to go out here and dust up some dirt, be ready for somebody to sweep it up. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, it's kind of funny what really outlandish stuff people tell me.
Oh, we live in a small town.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes, I mean, I think that's why a lot of my stories are so relatable, is because there are so many small towns in America, and we're all doing the same things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
I mean, what's happening here is for sure happening down the road.
Guarantee it.
Yeah.
I built this table right here.
This is real nice.
I'd put this table on it. I'd bet this table
is
somebody.
Real nice.
Thank you. I'd put this table on it there's somebody within 5 miles just chattering away about somebody.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's just, it's just like you said, it's part of Appalachian culture.
Yeah.
To sit and bicker and go on and on.
Yeah.
Pass the time,
Because there's literally nothing else to do.
Really ain't. Go to work, come home, and that's about it. Take care of your babies.
Yeah, I've made a really good friend on TikTok, and he's in Dallas.
Oh, yeah?
And, like, sometimes I'll be saying stuff. He's like, he's like, you are speaking a different language. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he lives, like, in this, it's in Dallas. It's like a massive city. And he'll send me a picture, and I'm like, where are all them cars going?
Yeah.
What is it? Because, like, at my house, you can't even see another house. Like,
oh, yeah.
We live on 13 acres, and you can't see anybody.
Wow.
And I could not imagine living in some big city like that.
I'm uncomfortable in Lexington.
Oh, I don't drive oh, no. I've been to Sam's Club 1,000,000 times, and I can't figure out how to get there. Even with the GPS, I get lost.
Well, I can get around pretty good off the first couple, 3 or 4 exits, and after that, no.
Yeah, I can do Hamburg.
I'm not real good with Hamburg, actually.
I can get to Target, and I can get to Costco.
Yeah.
But, Dylan drives a truck, and I blame him. Because, like, he knows where everything is.
Oh, yeah, he's got to know. He could probably go there.
He don't even use a map.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've just got used to it. I just sit and look out the window, and I don't pay attention to where we're going.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't know where we're at? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Not at all. I couldn't get you out of here if you wanted me to. Truly.
Yeah. Truly. That's kind of the way I am. I'm really good off the 104. After that, it starts going downhill.
Yeah, not me. I don't know where nothing's at.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing.
I don't know. People in Lexington are really different. I know some really good people in Lexington.
Oh, yeah.
There's good. I'm not saying they're bad people and everything. There's good people and bad people everywhere.
It's just a different culture.
It's just a different culture up there. It's a big city,
Yeah.
I consider Lexington the big city.
It is.
And Louisville even bigger.
I've been one time. I'll not go back.
I've been a couple times. We was up there with our boy Brody when he had to have heart surgery when he was a baby. And we stayed right in the middle of downtown Louisville. And they put us up in the Ronald McDonald House over there. And the parking lot to the Ronald McDonald House was across the street. And there was this big block or a big cement wall, that separated everything. And it was me being in corrections. I know what these meant, and it was tagged up with these gang signs. And I'm like, I know what that means, and I know what this means, and I know what all these tags mean. And I told Patsy, I said, I'm going to have to shoot our way out of here. And we was there for like a week, going from there to Cosair's Children's Hospital. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's a really good hospital. They worked a miracle for my boys, and God did too. But that's a sketchy neighborhood right there.
Yeah.
And there's females and males, everybody coming in and out of that parking garage, and it's just really sketch. Super, super dangerous place.
I just don't like to go nowhere. And I feel like that's another part of culture. And, I don't know if you're this way, but, like, my pa, I've never seen the man go farther than 20 miles away from the house. We'd go on vacation, he'd stay home. Yeah, he'd stay home.
I don't blame him.
And now that I've gotten older, like, I've seen Gatlinburg so many times I could puke. I'm sick of Pigeon Forge. I love Dolly Parton, honey, but Dollywood's got so high you can't afford to go.
Oh, my God.
You'll have to sell your wheels and tires before you can get in.
Well, I got a buddy that I work with right side by side. Goes on like 5-6 cruises a year. Him and his wife.
I would not get on the middle of... Oh, no.
They are so much cheaper, though, than Pigeon Forge.
Oh, well, you could go to the beach for a week.
You could.
It's gotten outrageous. I mean, it really has.
It's unreal. He goes for like these week-long cruises to, across the world, literally, for $600.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. But I couldn't get on a boat out in the middle of the ocean. I would get out there and panic.
I think I say I could, but again, I've never been on one. I don't know what it'd be like. But the thing about it is, the thing that really freaks me out about it is that once you're on that boat, you're there.
Yeah.
And it's not like that you can get off at the next stop or whatever and
come home,
hitch a ride home or something other. You're done.
Yeah.
You're in it for the long haul.
Now, we went to Panama City back in 21, I think, and we got there Saturday, and it got Thursday. I was like, we're leaving.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, we're going home. And Dylan's like, what? Oh, he's like, we can stay till, Saturday. I was like, no, I've seen enough. I'm ready to head right back up the mountain. I'm done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, it don't take me long to start missing home.
Yeah, I'm a homebody.
Yeah, I am too. Super big homebody.
Yeah.
I'm eating this cough drop and making myself sound stupid on here.
You're fine, honey.
But there ain't no better place than home, in my opinion.
No, a lot of my friends, I'm 26, so a lot of my friends, like, they're either settling down or they're still a little bit wild. Like, You've got a good mixture going around, and they're like, they don't even invite me to go anywhere anymore. They know Katie's not coming. Don't even invite her. She's not coming. She loves us, but she's not coming.
Yeah.
She's not coming. And where I got married at 16, I feel like I'm 35. You know what I mean? I'm so settled and so just content with life.
Yeah.
We've done been through it. I'm ready to sit.
That.
Oh, I don't think so either.
It's the best life in the world.
I would not have it any other way.
Yeah. I am very content with the way things are in my life. I've got a gorgeous wife. Bet treats me like a baby. I got 2 wonderful boys. I got a pretty place.
You couldn't want much more.
Well, I got my health. I got my boys' health, my wife, my mom and dad, all of them's healthy.
That's a blessing.
It's such a blessing because you hear all the time about these people. Well, Lord, guess who's got cancer?
All the time.
Or guess who wrecked today? Or
and the thing is, it could change in a moment's notice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a young lady I'm sure you heard about just a couple of weeks ago died. She was 42, I believe. I don't know if
yep, I know exactly who you're talking
I don't
about.
know if I should say her name or not. They may not want me to, but
you just don't never know. Truly.
You just don't never know. And she was one of the nicest ladies there was.
Yeah.
And it just hit her.
Well, Dylan's sister, she was 25 years old, and she was heading to, I don't know if she was heading to work. She was going to school to be a nurse, and somebody high on pills hit her head on.
Really?
Hit her head on. Killed her. And, Dylan's poor mommy's never been the same.
Yeah.
She tries, but, how do you come back from something like that?
I don't know. If people would focus on things like that, what could be, instead of what is, little things like gossiping about somebody or just little frivolous things, and I'm guilty of it too. I try to focus on it, but I'm nowhere near as much as I should. But if people would just really sit down and maybe think about how blessed they are right in that moment. Just to even have food in your refrigerator is a blessing because, Lord, there's people in this county that don't have nothing.
Oh, absolutely. And, we grew up so poor. My mom was a single mother. It'd be time for school, and I'd have 1 pair of shoes and a couple pair of pants, and we had food stamps, and, that's how we lived. We lived by our grandparents, and there was a lot of nights that if, I didn't live by my nanny and pa, then we wouldn't have had dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And so now to become an adult and have things, just little things. You know, we never could go out to eat really growing up, and to go and get a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes I look at life and I'm just so content and I'm so thankful.
Yep.
That, you know, my daughter's not going to have to struggle, and she's not going to know that struggle of growing up without.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a blessing. I mean, it really is.
It really is a blessing.
It is.
People spoiled to death too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and don't even realize it. You know, I don't know, but you know, all these things that you're talking about here is part of the attraction to you from all your fans and followers and stuff like that, because you're just as real as you can be, and as country as cornbread. And people, just like you said a few minutes ago, are finding out that Appalachian people are some of the best, most wholesome, genuine, interesting people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And they flock to them.
Mm-hmm.
They flock to them.
Yep.
In every way, shape, or form.
Very talented.
Very talented people. It's unreal at just in the last few days how many talented people I've been introduced to, singers and comedians and stuff like that, you know, that I feel very fortunate to have met. Or otherwise, I would just hear about them, much less I got to meet these people.
That's awesome.
You know, and getting to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know what it would feel like to have that kind of following. You know, it's incredible.
I don't feel any different.
Yeah. Well, see, that's another attraction to you from all these people.
Honest to God, it feels like I'm just getting on there and rambling to my friends. Honest to God.
That's what people like.
Honestly. But there is a lot of talented people here in Appalachia. I mean, my grandfather, my pa, as I call him,
yeah.
You know, he has an 8th grade education. He worked 2 or 3 jobs.
Uh-huh.
I mean, one of the smartest people you'll ever meet. You'll ask him a math question, and I couldn't even type it in on a calculator, and he'll answer it. You know, just
naturally smart people.
Just smart, talented. I mean.
Now, I was going to do something here, if it's all right with you.
I mean, sure, honey.
To pull up your account.
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
I don't.
I mean, if not, that's cool too.
No, I don't.
If I can get my mouse to work. I'm going to pull the screen up here for y'all and show you Katie's TikTok. You can see I've been researching.
Now, what is the Backroads of Appalachia? I've seen that on Facebook.
Backroads of Appalachia, excuse me, the CEO of Backroads of Appalachia is Eric Hubbard.
Okay.
He is the CEO, of course, like I said, and their goal is economic development through motorsports. So they put on these motorsports races, rally races, and car shows. And
was they the ones down there at the Mexican Opals the other day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They when Backroads of Appalachia has these people come into town, they take over the town. They spend a lot of money in this town. I had the opportunity back this past summer to meet the Subaru rally race team.
Honey, I love my Subaru. It will go with the quickness.
Oh my God!
I've got a little Subaru Forester, honey, and it will go.
It is unreal how fast they was down Turkey Foot. What is that? Oh, that's TikTok. I didn't know what that was.
It was an army of...
Hush up a second. They was down in Turkey Foot, and you know about Turkey Foot. Mm-hmm. Just gravel roads, potholes, cliffs, and this guy was going 124 miles an hour.
Well, he surely got a death wish.
Oh, my God. So talented. Nerves of steel.
I couldn't do it. I drive like a little grandma.
I do, too. I drive really slow.
No? The top one.
Oh, is that it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. I was going to play a little video and give people, if you don't mind.
Honey, I don't care.
This is a good one. I watched this earlier today.
Made a grave mistake today. When I say we, I mean my husband Dylan. between the holidays, this bout of insomnia, and Aunt Flo coming last week, I've been exhausted. So I hand my 7-month-old daughter to her dad, my husband, Dylan. And I fall asleep on the couch in our living room. And before I fall asleep, I tell him, she's going to need a nap about 5 o'clock. She takes her last nap, okay? He seemed to understand. I wake up, and they're having a Wiggles party, okay? Ring, 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 ring. Put on their phone. Blaring through the house. Oh, and I don't know how I don't hear all this, because I'm literally in the living room where they're at. They've had the biggest time ever was. Laughing, playing, toys everywhere. And I wake up, and it's about 30 minutes until her bedtime. Rubbing her eyes, I said, did she not take a nap? He said, no, we was playing. I was like, we don't skip naps in this house. We need our rest. It was like wrestling a pig to get her in her jammies.
Yeah.
Squalling, doing the worst. This child barely made it through drinking her bottle before she went to sleep. We do not skip naps in this house. Listen, we nearly made a grave mistake today. When I say we...
That is so funny, and that's so real, too. That's everyday life for people.
Oh, I don't know how I slept through it all. Because, I mean, the Wiggles was blaring. And the Wiggles have been around a minute, so you've probably watched the Wiggles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how are these people dancing up and doing it? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I just passed out. I was exhausted. I was exhausted. And Dylan, he's laid off right now. Mm-hmm. It's slowed down for the winter, and he's laid off right now. So he's getting a taste of being home all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, here you go. You can take care of her.
Yeah, give Mama a break.
Yeah.
Get a taste of this.
So I wake up, and it's almost her bedtime, and I thought, well, I'm going to go take a shower before I get her ready for bed, because I have her on a strict schedule. Like, she sleeps...
You have to.
Yeah, she sleeps through the night, 12 hours a night. She goes to bed at 8 o'clock, wakes
That's awesome.
up. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
The whole time I was pregnant, I was like, Lord, please let this child sleep, because I cannot go without sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since she was about 2 or 3 months old, she's pretty much slept through the night.
Yeah.
So I go get in the shower, and I hear her start crying. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
And I was like, did she take a nap? He was like, no. We was playing.
Oh.
And I mean, when I play with her, it's one thing, but he's putting out all the effects. I mean, they're playing hard. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, my God. I was like, okay, I've got to get out of the shower. I mean, they bust in, and I'm in the shower. I'm like, get out and go.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Lord bless her heart, I was feeding her a bottle, and she was like, nodding out. I'm like, this poor child is exhausted. Her daddy has wore her out.
Yeah. That was one thing that me and my wife, I don't want to sound morbid or anything, but our boys was in the hospital for 97 days. Mm-hmm. They was in the NICU. And if there is any one good thing that came out of that, it was that our boys was on a sleep schedule from day one.
You have to.
I mean, even when they was smaller than that bottle of water right there. They had them in their incubators or whatever, and they put them down at the which, I mean, you know, they was helpless, obviously, had a lot of health problems and stuff like that, so they was slept a whole lot, and they was on oxygen and everything like that, which the doctor said soothed them to sleep. So my boys have never had an issue sleeping all through the night. So if there is one good thing come from the stay at the NICU, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Because when we came home with them, not a problem either at that point either. So, yeah, it was the best and worst experience of my life.
Oh yeah, honey. There's nothing like a baby that'll make you pray.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was people in other states praying for our boys.
Oh, I could. Lucy, when she was born, she come out sunny side up, and so when she did, she swallowed a lot of fluid.
Oh, okay.
So the night I had her at like 5:45 at night, and she started puking up like green. And they took her to the NICU and was doing X-rays and making sure that she didn't have any kind of obstruction. And that is the most helpless feeling
Yeah.
in the world.
It is.
I mean, it is. They took me down there, and
Sorry.
those nurses are angels.
Oh, my God, yes.
Angels.
Yeah.
And, there she was, hooked up to all these little, I don't even know what it was, and I just started crying. I looked at that nurse, I was like, I don't typically cry, but this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got in the shower, Dylan found me in the shower at the hospital, just sobbing and praying. I prayed like I hadn't prayed in years.
You will. It'll bring you close to God.
Oh, absolutely.
Going through something like that.
Having a child has very much brought me closer to the Lord. Absolutely.
It will. It about has to. When you go through an awesome, magical experience and traumatic at the same time. Mm-hmm. I remember when my wife had our boys, they immediately took them to the NICU and put them in incubators and stuff like that. Have you ever held a flashlight to your hand? Mm-hmm. You glow red? Mm-hmm. That's what they look like.
Bless her.
You could see their heart beating inside their chest. It's like physically see their heart. Scariest thing ever was. And I was so dumb to what was going on. I was like, when are they going to let us go home?
Well, you're probably just in shock, too.
I was in shock.
They were born at 24 weeks, is that what you told me?
24 weeks, yep. So I was like, well, I can't wait to get them to the house, And them literally smaller, they could have fit inside that bottle of water. Mm. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait to get them home, and them sitting here fighting for their life. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize it, And then the NICU nurse comes out and she's like, are you the father? And I said, yeah. She's like, okay, come in here and see your boys. So I came in there, and she's like, stick your hand through the incubators into these gloves. She said, but whatever you do, don't stroke their skin.
It was so
just
thin.
pat them. She said, because if you stroke them, you'll tear their skin.
Oh, how pitiful.
She said it was thinner than, what's that real thin stuff?
You're really narrowing it down there for me.
Yeah, it was really, really thin, whatever it was. So thin that just barely touching them would have tore their skin.
Bless their heart.
And I was thinking, I'm ready to go home, But just to brag on my wife a minute, she gave birth to my boy C-section. Obviously had to. And, of course, and remember, she gave birth at 24 weeks. You're not, as far as I know, you're not supposed to be able to produce breast milk at that early. She did.
That's a blessing.
Such a blessing. There is no doubt in my mind God knew that they needed that because there's something inside in the breast milk.
The colostrum and stuff.
Colostrum. It's better than any medicine the doctor can give. So it was just God knowing that they needed it, and she started pumping, and before we knew it, we had to buy a freezer to go on our deck.
That's a blessing. See, my milk never really came in. Lucy's on formula, which, fed is best. I'm a huge advocate of that. Breastfeeding is a whole journey in itself. Yeah. I wish I could have done it, but it seems like a lot.
Well, I tell you what, it would take this is why it takes a woman to have a baby. There's no man I can imagine having the patience and the willpower and just the pure strength to go through something like that, because my wife for I think 6 months had to pump breast milk every 2 hours.
Oh yeah. It's
amazing.
It's insane. It's insane.
They said don't stop pumping because you never know when it'll dry up or something. So, buddy, religiously every 2 hours for I think I may be wrong about the
through
time
the night and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh. She never got more than 2 hours sleep at a time for months.
Bless her heart.
And that's why a man would never be able to do childbirth. There is no way.
But listen, you'll do anything for them babies.
Oh yeah.
And I said it I was talking about it the other day. You hear people talk about the love that you have for your child, but until you have one,
yeah,
you have no idea what you're even talking about.
Can't prepare yourself for it.
No. No. I mean, me and Dylan, we were married 8 years before I got pregnant.
Oh, really?
And you're never ready. Somebody said the other day, I don't feel like I'm ready. Well, you're not ever ready.
No, if you're waiting out there, if you're out there and you're waiting till you're ready to be a mom or dad, You ain't never going to have one.
Ain't gonna happen.
You might as well just do it.
But, I mean, God, what did you do before them? Like, now I'm like, God, what did we do? That's
what me and Patsy say all the time. What did we do before we had kids? Just sit here and look at each other?
That's what because me and them were married forever. And I was like, I don't know what we did.
I have no idea. I can't remember. I physically can't remember what we did.
Yeah.
I guess we just went out and ate and
hung out, slept.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
Oh no, I couldn't imagine twins. I said I wanted twins, but now after having one, I couldn't imagine two at the same time.
Yeah, numerous people told us that if you want twins, it's better to have them the first time you go around, as opposed to having one and then twins, because it's like double hard, you know, having one and then having twins. We don't know any different.
Yeah.
You know, and it was hard because even when they came home, they was on oxygen and heart monitors.
Really?
For a long time. And they had doctor's appointments out the you-know-what.
I would say
and so. It's hauling 2 diaper bags, 2 oxygen tanks, 2 heart monitors, 2 babies, 2 car seats.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
It was amazing, but... yeah, they're perfectly healthy now. They're probably up there beating each other's brains out right now.
I'd say so, little boys.
Yeah, they get.
I'd say they're wild, little hillbilly children.
Yeah, they get into it pretty hard sometimes. I try not to step in the middle of them because the best way to learn is to get knocked down a few times. Yeah. And what better person to do it than your brother? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's true. Now, Have you got like any plans? Are you nobody wants you to stop. You ain't got no plans of letting up, do you?
No, I mean I enjoy it. Like
yeah, you seem like you have fun.
I do. I have fun. Like I love talking to everybody. I love going live and talking to everybody. I read the majority of my comments. I mean, I get a lot of comments, and I don't reply to. Obviously, I don't reply to them all, but
well, there's thousands.
Yeah, I try to reply to or not reply, but reading. It's just fun, man. I mean, you get people from all over the country, people that relate, people from all over the world. For some reason, I have like 10% of my followings is it in Ireland or somewhere crazy?
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
All these different countries.
Look, what are y'all doing over there?
Yeah. I didn't understand. You know, I got a notification today that the podcast got picked up in Nigeria now.
Really?
And I'm like, they got TikTok in Nigeria?
Yeah.
You know, that may sound foolish and closed-minded of me to say something like that, but I'm like...
It's just mind-blowing how far it can reach.
Yeah.
And especially coming from a little holler. I was talking about that last night. Like, I've lived in a holler.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've not been exposed to much, truly.
Yeah.
So for people in South Africa and Ireland and to be hopping on these lives and talking to me, I'm like, what are y'all even... I thought them places might be fake. I wasn't even for sure that they were really there. I mean, I know y'all said they was, but I didn't know. I didn't know for sure if I believed.
That's kind of how I feel about it too. I'm like, do they translate to Nigerian or and Polish and?
Well, I get all the time. Can you please put captions because they don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess I don't know if it's in a different language or they just can't understand my accent.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of both.
I know Spotify and some other platforms transcribe. Mm-hmm. I guess it's called transcribe. The podcast.
Like put captions.
Yeah, the captions to whatever country or wherever they're listening. Because I didn't know. I'm like, how are they going to follow the podcast or know what the heck we're talking about? Mm-hmm. But they closed caption it or whatever that's called. So it's pretty cool. And, your page is awesome. I love it. I follow you. Obviously, I ain't logged in here, or it would say, but it's an amazing thing that you're doing. I really enjoy watching you. It's funny. I feel like that I'm listening to somebody just so real and so genuine, just like we are now. We've just been talking about whatever here for the past 30 minutes.
I told you I'll ramble.
Yeah, that's
I will.
Fine.
I'll ramble right on and on.
That's what people like. That's what people want to hear, you know.
Yeah.
The world is such a fast-paced place people may use your platform to kind of just chill out.
Yeah. I try to keep it calm, slow paced.
Yeah.
I'm not all I don't like the fast paced.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
It's something else. I can't keep up with it. There's another guy on TikTok, and I can't remember his name right now, but he's super popular on there. It's something to do with hockey.
That's not on my algorithm.
Well, it's not about hockey. He's a real big hockey fan.
Okay.
He don't make videos about hockey, but he lives in like this little bitty shed. He's in Canada, I know, and he's got this real big mustache, and he starts every video with "Hello, buddy." I don't
think I've seen him.
I'll find his page and send it to you. But Hawkeye or something like that, I'll find it. But
there's all kinds of kinds out there.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I love to follow people that are completely opposite than me. And you probably don't know who I'm talking about, but there's this guy on here, or on TikTok. His name's Dante James, I think, and he is married. His husband is named JB, and he calls him his time traveling Amish boyfriend. And they're completely opposite than me. And I sit and I watch them and I crack up and I send them to my friends, and I'm like, we have nothing in common, but I love them.
Oh yeah. What's his name on there?
Dante Elizabeth James is what I think that's what his name is.
Elizabeth
and
James.
I mean, I just crack up. That's what I love about TikTok, is because
you never know what you'll see on there.
Absolutely.
Oh, I was gonna try to find that guy right quick and show him to you. I can't remember, but you know how that algorithm is. It'll probably pull it up.
Oh, it'll be as soon as I get in the truck. It'll pop up on my phone.
Yeah, they're listening to us. Is that him? Well, I just clicked off of it. I was gonna try to find it here right quick. Is that him? No, that ain't him. Anyway, I'll find it and send it to you. And I can feel my blood pressure go down when this guy talks.
Really?
Oh, it's just so relaxing. He cooks on the channel, and he's got a fireplace going. He's got a couple border collies laying on the bed, and he acts like he's fixing me, the viewer, something to eat.
Oh, I don't think I've seen him.
It's so awesome. He's just so calm.
Just relaxing.
Just relaxing, and I am nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm
ready to go.
Ready to go. I'm on the tip of my toes all the time. And to hear somebody like that, you just kind of just sit there and go, just take a breath, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. That's what I know people get out of your TikTok channel. They get time to just sit and laugh and feel like they're really connected to you and what you do and talk about. It's refreshing for a lot of people, I know, without a doubt in my mind.
Well, I appreciate it, honey. I just, like I said, I just get on there and ramble.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just have a thought. I'm like, I'm going to tell everybody that.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody.
You're telling a lot of people.
And then I just sit in my car and just tell them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, my God. Did you see the Loretta video the other day about Leonard Skinner? I thought I probably should not post this because everybody in the world's going to see this. I've called the alter ego. Her name's Loretta, and we don't let her out.
Your alter ego?
Yeah, her name's Loretta.
Okay.
And she likes Marlboro Lights and cranberry vodka, and she will beat the hell out of a tambourine. And we don't let her out because I have to deal with the aftermath, and I'm not able no more.
Yeah.
I'm not able.
It's funny.
And we've not let her out since September 2021.
Okay. Got her under lock and key, huh?
Under the jail.
Under the jail.
Under the jail.
Yeah.
Because she's wild. You can't do nothing with her.
Now, was she on that video? Was it Loretta on that?
Oh, no. She's on locking. No, she's not allowed out.
Oh, okay.
She's not allowed out. I was just telling you, when Leonard Skinner comes on the radio, it just really does something to me. Like, I can't... I'll be in Walmart. I'm like, oh, God, we got to go.
Oh, my God.
We got to go. We got to get out of here. We can't be listening to this.
Well, if you ever come back, I'll have to have Leonard playing.
No. Don't do it.
Don't do it. From Loretta.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't post this because I know half my family, and then Dylan's family sees it, and I'm like, we grew up in the Holiness Church, and there's no telling what they think of me now, and I still love the Lord.
Oh, yeah. I know you.
Amen. Praise God.
Yeah, hallelujah.
But, I've just, you can't worry about what they think. And one thing that I've learned is your greatest blessings, a lot of times you are holding them back. Fear is holding them back. Mm-hmm. The majority of the time. And people's thoughts. And you can't care what people think.
Boy, that's so true. That's so true.
Fear will hold you back.
That's good. That's actually a really good piece of advice for me, because as blunt and as in your face type of person I am, I do hold back on this podcast a little bit.
Don't do it. Why?
I don't know. There's things I want to talk about.
Are you afraid somebody's going to talk about it or judge you?
Man, this is going to go against everything that I believe in and have told my whole life. But I'm afraid of what people will say. And that's so crazy.
Well, honey, they're going to talk about something regardless. You might as well give them something to talk about.
Talking to you is giving me the strength to talk about.
Truly. They're going to be talking about somebody anyway. I'll give them something. You want to talk about something, we'll talk.
What's that old song? Let's give them something to talk about.
Amen, honey. Give them something to talk about.
Yeah. That's giving me a little bit of hitching my giddy up there to just go ahead and talk about these things, because there's some pretty hot topics rolling around in my mind that nobody wants to talk about because of the subject matter. Mm-hmm. And I've wanted to do it for a long time, and it may just be me talking into that camera right there with nobody across the table, but that's fine, because I don't want to include anybody on my rants and stuff like that, and I'm sure you understand that. But I am so not the type to worry about things like that. But
well, when you're on a platform and you don't know who will see it, it's different when you're talking to somebody one-on-one, like me and you talking. Yeah. If I told you something, I know that you're hearing it. But getting on the internet and telling something is completely different, because you don't know who's watching.
That's true.
You don't know who's listening. You don't know who's sharing that video and who's sending it to who and what they're saying.
That's true.
Because let me tell you, I about shit a brick when everybody in the county started following me. I was like, God, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's kind of the thing with me, too.
And the thing is, even if you block them, they can still find you.
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's like, you don't need to be on there cussing. I'm like, Dad, I cuss in real life.
Yeah.
We're not going to be fake. No. He's like, the Lord don't like that. I'm like, you literally are a heathen. I'm like, you and Jackie are living together. You want to talk about sin?
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to get saved, honey? You and Jackie better get married, or you're on a one-way ticket to hell.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, family gatherings are real. Poor Dylan don't know what to think.
Yeah, I'd like to be a fly on the wall at a family reunion.
I'm sure he'd let you come. Come on over, honey.
I'd be an honorary cousin or something for the day.
He invites anybody. I called him, my friend that I made, he's in Dallas, and he didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving. I'm like, honey, we'll just come on over. Yeah. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, you can come to dinner. We don't care.
Yeah.
And he's like, he started looking at, like, hotels close, and he's like, it sounds fun, but then it sounds like a lot of work. I'm like, it would be exciting.
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee that.
Be exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take your advice and just quit concerning myself with it and just tell it.
Might as well.
Now, I ain't talking about, like, for everybody out there listening, I'm not talking about telling all the stuff that I know that I'm being told.
Y'all better act right.
I will one of these days. I promise you, I will one of these days, because it's a lot of stuff that needs to be told.
I mean, I'll tell it.
So I will one of these days, but just topics that I feel like need to be talked about, that maybe people's too ashamed to talk about, or just kind of taboo to bring up.
I tell it.
I'm going to.
It's your platform. What are they going to do?
That's right.
What are they going to do? They're going to like it or hate it.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. I've always said, no matter if I had 50,000 listeners or one, I'd still do this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing TikTok for a year now, and I made daily videos since, I think I started, like, daily videos in April, and I had about 20,000 followers, and then in, like, October is when it started blowing up.
Oh,
and I mean, I did it every day regardless, you know.
I'm going to pull this back up on your page.
Because there was a time when the algorithm was not pushing my videos at all. And I thought, why?
Really?
And I thought, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I making these videos every day? Especially like with a little newborn baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed it. Like, it was a creative outlet. You know, I wasn't used to being a stay-at-home mom. I wasn't used to I was used to working like a dog.
Yeah.
I had my own business. I worked 60, 70 hours a week, 6 days a week. And then, you know, I did slow down when I got pregnant, but honey, pregnancy will slow you down.
Oh, yeah. Guarantee it.
I surely thought the Lord was going to take me out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank God you forget about it all after you have a baby. It's like you're like, oh.
Yeah.
That's not so bad. I can do that again.
Yeah.
I can do that again.
That's something else. It's, I don't know. It's a way, it's definitely a way to vent, you know, podcast, TikTok, whatever your platform is. You know, I have made solo episodes on here before where I just get on here and talk about things. And I always do feel better when I walk away from this table.
Let it out.
Yeah.
Let it out.
I will from now on, I believe. You've given me the inspiration to do it.
Go ahead. Whether anybody listens or not, you'll feel better. Because there's always in the back of your mind, well, what if? What if I did say that? Or what if I did tell that?
Oh, yeah, I regret it. I regret right now not going ahead and saying or making these episodes on things that I want to do, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't regret it too much longer. I'll just go ahead and make them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, your page is Life of Katie Ann, right? Mm-hmm. 3.3 million likes, 237.5 thousand followers.
Yeah. Wow. I just hit 200,000 December 31st. So
it's risen that much in that little amount of time. 37.5 thousand followers in just a few days.
Yeah,
wow.
The internet is a crazy.
That is so amazing. 37,500 followers since December 31st. And we're recording this on January 8th. Mm-hmm. So literally a week.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's a blessing. Like I said, I'm so thankful just for the community of people.
Yeah.
You know, because I get on there, read them comments, and laugh and go on foolish.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me, just the different cultures, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then also, like, the people that relate. There's a lot of us.
Oh, I guarantee that.
There's a lot of us little Hollywood people.
I know they are. You know, when you get, I mean, it goes both ways. When you're the type of person you are and you're making this content and putting it out there, you see a whole different side of the world in the comments and in the live streams that you do and people sending you messages and back and forth and stuff. It's the same way because I get about 10 or 12 emails a day, unless I forget to check it and stuff. And it's people that's listened to some episode about recovery or somebody that dealt with something or some funny episode, and they're from
Kalamazoo
or BFE or whatever it is, you know. I had a guy email me the other day and he wanted me to read it on the podcast, and I plan on it here in probably the next solo episode I do. But he was living on what is that place called? Skid Row.
Okay.
Had lived on Skid Row for 5 years. And I guess he had a cell phone or whatever, you know, and he said what attracted him to the podcast was the logo. He said it reminded him of Wayne's World, which was the point. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And he said he started listening to some of the episodes, and one person in particular that I interviewed inspired him to go get some help. And he said that was 6 months ago, and he's been clean since.
Praise the Lord.
Absolutely.
Listen, I mean, I know it's everywhere, but I feel like the epidemic of drugs in eastern Kentucky, and I mean, I know it's everywhere, but it's everybody's dealt with it. There's one in every family.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that right there in itself, what you just said, one in every family.
There is.
I mean, think about that. One in every family. There really is.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And you can't help them until they help themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Truly.
And I'll read that email in detail one of these days, probably in the next episode, next solo episode I do, because he asked me to. I can't remember his name, but I'll read it on the next episode. But hearing stuff like that, that's something that you can't buy.
Well, because there's so many people that don't take the step to recover and get better and live normal lives. Like it takes such a hold of them, and you know, I have somebody close in my life, and she was on drugs for years.
Yeah,
used the needle, and I want to say it's been 5 years. She went to rehab. It's been clean, lives a normal life, and I mean, that's something to be proud of.
Oh my God. I said this on a previous episode. The people that's come to this table that were addicted to drugs and recovered in the process of recovery is some of the strongest willed people I've ever met in my life.
Absolutely.
They've got a fire under their hind ends that won't stop.
But they've got to want to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. You got to want to. You got to want to.
Yeah.
Well, Katie, I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for letting me
on the podcast. It's been awesome.
Well, thank you for letting me ramble.
I feel like this is the first time I've ever met you, and I feel like I've known you for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Because we've just rambled on, and I feel like we
would go on for hours. We could do this for hours.
Yeah. I'll give you a little taste of what I know when I stop recording too.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to know who it's about.
You may already know, because it's
somebody here where we're from.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to know. I'll tell you. I might tell you. I don't know.
you don't have to tell me nothing. But I mean, you may already know this. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I can't say that either. I'll tell you after we stop recording. Little something. But anyway, I thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. We'll do it again.
I know this is going to be watched by a lot of people. A lot of people is going to be interested in seeing you on the podcast. So thank you.
Well, I hope I've not embarrassed myself.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Anyway, thanks everybody for listening and watching, and we'll see you again next time. Y'all have a good one.
See ya. Honey, tell me.